is that there are things that say quiz 1. Okay? So when you see quiz 1, that means you are ready to write quiz 1 after you have finished 4.1a. Yes? After you have finished 4.1b, you're ready to write quiz 2. So some of them are just like one little thing, but if we look down a little further, in order to write quiz 4, you have to finish both 4.1d and 4.1e. Now, let's say you don't do very well on quiz 4. Yes? Say you don't do very well in it and you would like to rewrite it, but you need some extra practice before you rewrite it. That would be what 4.1f is for. Does that make sense? So when you get to the bold quiz, you can write a quiz. This unit is a little bit self-paced. So if you want to go through it quickly and you're finding it very easy, because some people do, their brains just work that way, then you can work fairly quickly and you can get through things fairly quickly and you can do the enriched material that I will have available later on. But there is going to be a minimum speed, right? And so like I'm going to have, if there's anyone who's missing a quiz, hasn't kept up with the minimum speed, I am going to ask you to come in during flex to get caught up. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's our front page there. I haven't printed this out properly. I've had many things happening in my life just recently. Why is it sideways? Okay, that's fine. All right. So we are going to start on page 8. And we're going to learn just how easy quiz 1 is going to be. You might even be able to write quiz 2 today if you're very quick at knowing your numbers. But quiz 2 will be happening tomorrow. Quiz 1 will actually happen today. And if you're like, how could I possibly be ready for a quiz today? Just wait, you already know how to do this, okay? So on page 7, we are naming compounds. This unit is all about taking a formula. Why are you talking while I'm talking? It's all about taking a formula and writing the name, and later on we'll be taking a name and translating it into the formula, okay? And we already know how to do this, or at least most of you have probably picked up on it. We are naming ionic compounds. So those are the ones that are in our crystal lattice form, and these are binary compounds, which means if we look at the prefix bi, what does bi mean? 2. So this means they contain 2 elements. We will have some later that contain 3 or more elements, but these ones only contain 2 elements. One of those elements is a metal, and one of them is a, what's the other one in an ionic compound? Non-metal. Okay, so we have a metal and a non-metal. Who always goes first in the name? The metal. It goes first in the name, it goes first in the formula. So it's always metal first, non-metal second. And these are so easy because all you do is you name the metal, sodium, and then you name the non-metal ion. And what do you have to do to the ending of a non-metal ion? You have to change it to "ide," and that's it. Okay, so this is just showing you how it forms. We don't really need to worry about that. We've covered that in our past unit. Just watch out for a few things. Here's one mistake that many people make. And I don't want you to make it because I will take off a half a mark. Fluoride is UO. not OU, not fluoride. And the reason I'm picky about it is because it is actually written on your periodic table and you can just copy it. Now, I know there's a few people who have, learning disabilities around, mixing up the letters and stuff, and that's okay. We'll make exceptions for that, but most of you should be able to just copy it down correctly. Here's a few others that sometimes people get wrong. Oxygide or oxide? Oxide. Nitrogide or nitride? Nitride. Phosphoride or phosphide? Phosphide. Hydrogide or hydride? Hydride. Okay? And if you get confused about it at any point, you just take the first syllable. There's only one syllable. And then we have the ide. Not two syllables. Ox-E, nitro, phosphor. So not two syllables plus ide. Only one syllable plus ide. And other than that, you can practice these. Now, one other thing I did want to point out is on your answer key, take a look at your answer key. Do you see how some of them, 4.1a says answers in the workbook? Yeah? So you will not find the answer key in the answer key. You will find it in the workbook on page 9. Oh, look, there it is right there. Okay? Because they were so small, I just fit them in if I could. Just to save paper. Okay? So if you're looking for the answer key, check on your answer key's title page. Maybe it'll tell you it's in the workbook or maybe it will be in here. All right? As soon as you are finished, 4.1a, you can write the 4.1a quiz, which is quiz number what? 1. Normally, and actually before you get too excited about writing things, stop writing for a second, this is important. The quizzes are back here. It is a self-serve system, okay? There's a little tab that says 1A. There's a tab that says 1B, 1C, and 1D. Those are all quiz number 1. If you get 6 out of 6 writing version 1A, do you need to do 1B, 1C, 1D? No. The next quiz you do will be quiz number 2. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to photocopy some of the quizzes. So 1A, I don't have enough for everybody. So if you need to do a 1B, that's okay. Because they're pretty much the same. They're just different versions of the same thing, like different compounds, but it's all the same idea for each quiz. So if we run out of a 1A and you need to do a 1B, that's totally fine. And I should have them replenished by tomorrow, okay? They're really like and that's it. Okay? And so when you're ready for quiz number 2, once most people have written quiz number 1, I'll do a little lesson on quiz number 2. But if you feel you just want to work ahead, please feel free to do that. And if anyone sees a black case for an Invisalign, I will give you something. I might even have money. If I have money, I'll give you some money. Because I put it somewhere. Don't just where. And I'm just going to take 1 minute to go to the staff room in case I left it there. Because I might have. I don't think I did, but I might have. So we are doing page 8. Okay, so page 8, and then whatever we start after page 8. Page 9. 8 and 9? And then you can do the quiz. All done? Thank you. 8 and 9. When we get to 10, I can see. You see how that's the first 2? Okay, so just 8 and 9. And then add. No.
I don't really understand the.
You don't need to yet.
No?
No.
I need to do this.
No, you need to do, folks, all you're doing right now is page 9. Just page 9. Yeah, don't worry about the reference stuff just yet. Just page 9.
Show them why you tell you that fun. Oh my gosh.
Just names, the stuff. Quizzes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
You just mark it here on the spot.
Yep.
Oh.
And don't leave without me writing it down. Okay, I think I've got a blank page. Yes, I do. So that's quiz number 1, and that's Evelyn 6. There we go. Perfect.
Do I need
And you take it back, and it's yours to keep. Hi. We did a bunch of this stuff. Yeah. Hello. Thank you. Mishka, there you go.
Thank you.
Not yet.
Thank you. Excellent. You can take a look at number 2, okay?
Very specific about the fluoride being you. Fluoride. And not.
Hello.
Yeah.
Go. There we go.
Number 1A, so can I just do 1?
You can do 1B. Yeah. So if we're out of 1A, you can do 1B.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the quiz now. Wait, is there no more A?
There's no more A's. You can do B. It's fine.
Can you give me one, please, guys?
Don't go anywhere, Davide.
What's going on? Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Hi.
Are we allowed to have the quiz out of order? Yeah.
You can, but usually it doesn't make sense to. But I mean, if you're ready. So none of these little doodads. But I'm not going to worry about that. You're never going to do it again, are you? No. Okay, there we go. So that's fine. All right. Same. Perfect. Thank you. What is that? Strontium. And beryllium is. So you have to watch your spelling, okay? And zinc. So be careful when you're reading it to actually get the spelling correct, okay? And then this one, there's no such thing as serenium.
Wait, I must have misremembered it.
Okay, please feel free to use your periodic table, okay? Because then you don't have to guess. Yes, you get to use a periodic table. So just go grab yourself another version and redo it, okay? That was, who was that? That was Kira. Oh no. Wow. Yay, thank you. Ananya. If you run out of 1B, then do 1C. There's lots of 1Cs.
Okay. There's no more A.
Yeah, that's okay.
Where does this go now?
And that goes in your book.
Okay. Wait, so what am I doing now?
You can go read about 1B. We'll be doing it together in a few minutes.
Oh my goodness.
I knew you'd say that. Okay, so there's none of these doodads. Okay, I'm just going to assume you can remember that from now on, and I won't take anything off for it. Okay, thank you.
Do you have to do 1A?
No, you do not need to do 1A. You just need to do one version of number 1. Yay, thank you. Yes.
Still confused on how we're doing the testing stuff.
The test on
Or
Monday?
These things.
Oh, these ones.
Like we finished like.
So if you finish,
4.1.
you can go and read 4.1B.
Oh, so every one of like 4.1 is a quiz.
A quiz, yeah, and okay. So on the actual booklet itself, it will say. Sometimes you need to do more than one before there's a quiz,
So like that's this
right?
one.
So like this one here, you don't actually get to the quiz until you see like the bold one. Okay, yeah.
Can we do the
You can. You'd be doing quiz number 2, and I'll actually be teaching it in just a few minutes. Yeah. Hello. There you go. Oh, I wrote backwards. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But other than that, it's good.
Close.
Close.
I'll take that.
So if you want to do a C, you can, or you can just leave it.
I think I'm just gonna go look through the booklet, the cheat
Sure.
sheet, and just go over C.
Sure, sure.
Alright.
Okay, the majority of people are done quiz 1. The majority of people are done quiz 1, so I'm going to do a quick little lesson for quiz 2 and let you know what you need to know before you write it.
We were doing 2 quizzes today.
No, we'll probably be doing quiz 2 tomorrow because you do need to memorize something. So if you're working on something else, I need you to stop and go to page 10. Okay? So once again, we are dealing with binary compounds. How many elements do binary compounds contain? 2. However, these are not ionic compounds. These are covalent compounds, which are also known as molecular compounds. Those 2 words mean the same thing. A molecular compound is the same as a covalent compound. I will use both because I don't know what your teacher next year is going to use, so it's good that you know that they mean the same thing. Yes? Okay. Now, this is just a little bit of review for your test on Monday. Covalent bonds form when elements do what with their electrons? They share. Okay, so here's a little water molecule. We're showing that we're going to share these electrons and share these electrons, and we form a covalent bond. The reason we call them covalent compounds is because they contain covalent bonds. But we can call them molecular compounds because what do we call this particle that was formed? An H2O particle is called a molecule. So that's why they're sometimes called molecular compounds, because they form molecules. Please don't talk while I'm talking. Anyway, they share to get a full shell of 8 electrons. How many for hydrogen? 2, which is what kind of arrangement for electrons? Very stable. And again, this is something that could be on Monday's test. Between what types of elements do covalent bonds form? What do we mean by types of elements? What are the 2 main types of elements? Metals and non-metals. Covalent bonds form between what types? Non and non. Okay? When elements bond covalently, what do they form? Molecules. What are the 2 names for compounds made of only non-metals? Molecular and Covalent. And don't forget, when the atoms are all the same, if I've got H bonded to H or O bonded to O, we have a molecule of an element. When there are different types of atoms within a molecule, we have a molecule of a compound. So that was just a little review of stuff for Monday's test. In this document, we're going to be dealing with compounds. So it's very, very similar to naming ionic compounds. Ionic compounds, the first word is just the name. The second word, the ending changes to "ide." That is the same when we're naming covalent compounds. So we just name the first one and we change the ending to "ide." Covalent, we name the first one. We've got a C, and that is carbon. And then we name oxide. But what's different here? We have to take into account the fact that there is a 2. And in order to do that, we write the prefix di, because di means 2. And don't worry, I'll teach you all the prefixes. You'll get a little chart, and then you have to memorize that chart. Okay? And if you're like, I cannot memorize things, you can use it, but you'll take a 1-mark hit on your quiz. Okay? This is also covalent. You'll notice we name. Why are you talking while I'm talking? We name our first element, which is phosphorus, but we have 2 of them, so we say diphosphorus. The prefix for 6 is hexa. And what did we have to do to the ending of the second word? Ide. So we have ide on the second word. Is there any ide on the first word? No. And there's something else that's a little strange, and we'll get to that in a moment. I'm not quite sure why I'm reiterating this, but that's okay. We're just going to ignore that for a moment. SiO2, 1 silicon. So we just say silicon. We have 2 oxygens, so we say dioxide. We have 1 carbon, so we just say carbon. We have 1 oxygen. Now this is a little bit different because when we had 1 carbon, we didn't put a prefix on. When we have 1 oxygen, the second element, we say I have 1, which is monoxide. So you'll notice when we have 1 of the first element, no prefix. When we have 1 of the second element, we need to use mono. Okay? So if we have 1 of the first element, there's no prefix. But if there's 1 of the second element, why are you talking while I'm talking? Why do I have to keep asking? So 1 of the second element, we use mono. We have 1 iodine, and it's the first element, so we call it iodine. And we have 4 chlorines, and the prefix for 4 is tetra. So we have tetrachlor what? Ide. So we still have those ides on the second word. Now we have 2 phosphorus. So that's going to be what phosphorus? Diphosphorus. Did you notice that? We have to have the prefix when it's not a 1. On the first word is weird. The first word is like, I don't want a mono, but I will take every other prefix. Yes? So the first word, no mono, but it does want every other prefix. The second word always has a prefix. So the first word always has a prefix unless there's only 1. The second word always has a prefix. There was a hand up somewhere. No? Okay. And 5 is penta. But I'm going to show you a little something different here. This is pentoxide. Okay. And 2, we have 2 nitrogens, so that's di for 2. And I'm just going to pause for a moment here to see if anyone's paying attention. Nobody's yelling at me. Somebody should be like, Miss Spence, what are you doing? Yes. Yeah, why is it I'd? Do we change the ending of the first word? No. We never change the ending of the first word. So it would be nitrogen. 1 sulfur. And again, I'm going to pause. Yes? We need to add a mono because remember the second word always needs a prefix. Second word always needs one, so it's monosulfide. Does anyone want to take a guess at what the prefix is for 3? Yes? Tri. So we have triphosphide. Yeah, all of you. There's no "ide" on the first one, right? So it's triphosphorus. And then what is the prefix for 5? Penta. Sulfide. Now I want you to take a little look here. There's something else that's a little bit weird. Shh. And that's why this quiz is not today. This quiz is going to be tomorrow. Okay? Because take a look at this one. When we had pent in front of oxygen, there was no A. But penta in front of sulfide, there is an A. So oxygen and oxide are a little bit funny. We drop the O's and we drop the A's, but only in front of oxygen, oxide. Okay? We don't drop I's, only O's and A's. So that one's going to take a little practice to get used to. Sometimes people get all excited and they're like, okay, I'm going to drop all my vowels. So instead of trioxide, they're going to be writing like troxide, which is just not correct. Okay? And then people get like, they're like, oh, I'm going to drop my O and my A in front of any vowel. And so instead of tetraiodide, oh, and I should not leave a space. That's all one word. Sorry. Tetraiodide. iodide. What does tetra mean? Does anyone remember? 4. Tetra is 4. Tetraiodide, sometimes people will change it to tetraiodide. No. You only drop the O and the A, and you only drop them in front of oxygen. Only O and A, and only on oxygen. Yes? Okay. So there's a bunch more examples here. I don't think we necessarily need to do them all. Okay. Let's write out all the prefixes. What is 1? Mono. So this is on page 12. 1 is mono. 2 is di. 3 is tri. 4 is tetra. 5 is penta. 6, hexa. 7, hepta. 8, octa. Like an octagon, yes. 9 is nona. If you have a 9-sided figure, it's called a nonagon. And if you have a 7-sided figure, it's called a heptagon. And a 6-sided figure is called a hexagon. And 10 is deca, which if you have trouble remembering, it's like a decade, which is 10 years. I'm going to highlight the ones that people have the most difficulty with. They're the ones in the middle. Tetra. Does anyone play Tetris? If you play Tetris, you'll notice that all the pieces are made of 4 squares. So that's where Tetris comes from. Okay? People tend to mix up hexa and hepta. If you have trouble, remember that the word 6 contains an X. Yes? And hexa contains an X. And I don't know, it may not be helpful, but sometimes you can write a number 7 with a line through it like that. And you'll notice that this has a line through the T. I don't know if that's helpful. I just thought of that now, so maybe it's not very useful. But hexa and 6 both have an X. And for some reason, people also mix up penta and hexa, but I don't know how to help you with that one. You just need to stick it in your brain. So you can memorize these. That's going to be part of your quiz for tomorrow. Okay, mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, deca. And in fact, I'm just going to give you at the beginning of class a little extra quiz that's just like write them out before you do quiz number 2. Okay? So your little extra quiz is just to write out the numbers and what they stand for. Is good? Okay. We've already talked about oxygen. Yes. Well, just hang on a second, okay? And I think the rest of it is okay. Yep. We've talked about all of that. Here on page 13, you can see there's like all the rules. So page 13 has all the rules. So if you're not remembering them, you can refer to page 13. And if you have finished quiz number 1, you can work on doing these ones. Okay? That's page 14. And if you have not yet done quiz 1, you can do quiz 1. Yes. And Haley, you had a question. Quiz 1? Okay, come with me. I'll show you where the salt journals is. Right. Yeah, so the back here.
Super scary skibbities.
Any version of what?
I think she was done. Wait, should This homework?
Yes. This is homework, page 14.
Okay. I'll do from 10. I'll just go tomorrow.
And if you have not finished quiz 1 today, then you will be coming into Flex tomorrow to do quiz 1. Did you guys catch that over there?
Let me do quiz 1.
If you're not done quiz 1, you're coming to Flex tomorrow. Okay? Yes? Or is that a stretch? You can do quiz 2, sure. Yeah. If anyone does feel ready for quiz 2 today, you're welcome to do it. Okay? No problem. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll get anyone to the access 6. See, we're not going to do this one again.
Veronica. Oh yeah, you haven't taken one yet. So you walk to the back. Do you see where Hayden is? Yeah. You're going to open right in behind 1B, the tab 1B. You'll find quiz 1B and take one of those. Yes.
So easy.
Come here.
This is.
Hi.
Okay. So for this question, because which prefixes behave differently when they are put in front of oxygen / oxide? And is it okay to just put these two? Because that is with
Yes.
other ones.
Yeah.
So it's
You, I
fine.
mean, you'd honestly, these questions you don't have to answer them. You just have to do page 13. 14. Yeah.
Yeah. No, E is phosphorus. Seems K, right? Yeah. H is hydrogen.
Okay.
Well, I did the B.
That's fine, because A is missing. Did you see
Hydrogen iodine.
But we don't put dashes in between. I don't know why everybody started doing dashes this year. It's weird. Anyway, can you remember never dashes in between? And you'll never do it again, so I can just give you credit for it? Okay, iodine. Only 1 T in potassium.
Wait,
I didn't know
Lucas.
That's
Is that
okay.
quiz 2?
So you can do 1C if you want to get 606. Okay?
1C.
Yeah. Do you know where to go get that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Should I just do this through the quiz? Is it just 2A? What's the quiz?
2A? Yeah. Unless we run out of 2As, in which case, but I think we'll be okay for now.
Can you give me one card? Yeah.
You forgot to change your eye. Oops.
This is
Josh.
1D. What? I grabbed it.
Thank you. All right. So I'm not going to worry too much about your spelling. Okay. Because I know that's like a nightmare for you. Right. But
There's not much there.
the ending has to be "ide."
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. So that one has to be "ide." And you can't have 3 syllables. Phosphoride. It just has to be phosphide. Okay? Again, this one, oxyide, just oxide. Okay? And I gave you this one, but I don't know what happened, like fluoride. Anyway, I know it's a spelling thing, so I'm like, it's fine.
I just guessed that one out.
Okay. So you know what you do is you look on your periodic table. Did you use your periodic table?
I used it for the other one.
Okay, then use it for that one too. Okay. And then I'm not going to take off a mark for this one, but it's just nitride,
Yeah,
not
we'll take it.
nitroide.
We'll take it.
Okay? Yeah. Okay? 1, 2, yeah.
Wait, don't we do 2?
Well, you can do it now.
Okay. Just a second. I'm going to mark this one first because they were here first, but it will take me 1 second. Micah! Only drop the O and the A before
Yeah, okay.
oxygen. Okay?
Two.
There we go. Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
My handwriting's
Yeah.
Again?
Is it still potassium? Is that the one you misspelled last time? Look, is that your last one?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you need to learn how to spell potassium. There's 1, 2, 2 S's. Just read it off the chart. Okay?
I can do another one.
Want to do 1D? Yeah, sure. Why not? Hi.
I'm dead.
Just done.
I didn't. I wouldn't do it.
So drop the O and the A before oxygen. Okay? So do I do? You can do 2C. Phosphorus.
Yeah, but big.
Thank you. Singing. Hello.
I think I spelled.
That's okay. And no capitals. Okay. Caps. Mid-word. I won't take off marks for it, but I'll just trust you to remember that. And if you do it next time, I will take off marks.
Of course.
And don't no spaces. No spaces. Mid-word.
We should do 7:30.
Yes.
So get rid of those caps and get rid of any spaces and you're good to go. Okay? Thank you.
Is this the right quiz?
This is quiz number 2. Let's see, Braden. Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
2B and then next.
Capta.
Yeah, you did one. What's that? What's one?
Phosphorus dioxide, dinitrogen.
Oh.
So that is. So hepta, not hecta. Okay, and there's like this weird R there, and you need to put mono on the second word because the second one always needs a prefix.
That's what I would have.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Braden.
No, you can't. You already did the test. There isn't take my answer, man.
I'm just gonna mark this one real quick. Somebody gave me a quiz with no name on it and handed it into the tray. Somebody with messy writing.
That's mine.
It's yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, bro, it's because you told me the wrong thing. You're like, you're like a master. Yeah, you're like, oh, really? That's what you told me. Like, really? Well, it's still like make hours. What do they want?
Max.
That is the slowest ballroom ever seen.
Max. I got your quiz for you. Thank you, Kai. Ugh. Okay, so take care of your spelling. Okay, so make sure you read off the table. Okay, that was it. Other than that, that one was just to I. No, that's an N.
I did try to get that after.
Okay. Alright. Yay, thank you, Davide.
William, calm down, okay?
Thank you, Nathan. Hello. Okay, so no spaces, no caps. Spaces, mid-word.
So no capitals?
No capitals mid-word. So this is all one word. All one word.
Because like I wrote this then this.
Yeah, so just don't capitalize. You can always just leave the capitals off everything. So if you just write lowercase all the time, you won't have a problem. I'm gonna give it to you anyway. It's okay. Just remember it for next time because I won't be here. And again, just try and make it tap. William.
Yeah. Super scary, skibbity down your.
So the second word always moves. Okay. Yeah.
But we got
We dropped the A before the oxide. Okay, so that's. You can do it again next day, okay?
Not even
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure I won't be here tomorrow.
Okay,
And
I will.
I didn't take the two quiz. But
Okay.
I did on,
Sure.
if I have
Tomorrow
time
is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday.
tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, and then we've got the weekend. Yeah, so you can do it on Monday or Tuesday or whenever I see you. Yeah. If you don't want them, yeah, sure. Bye. Oh, hi. Oh my gosh. I'm like, am I saying bye? Am I saying hi? Are you leaving? Or are you coming? So confused. You're welcome. See you.
So I asked a lot of the system, and they say science.
Now John, I don't know why John. Jonah has like this face squeeze on the black. Well, I saw some of these. We lost the answer.
Hello.
Okay, I can't get it.
Okay.
You said neutralization.
Yes. Yes.
So I was thinking of just the water. This reacts with the water, and then it's mixed with the hydroxide.
Uh-huh.
So like that forms one hydronium.
Uh-huh.
And then here she also said this base
Yes.
over here
Yes.
takes away both of them.
Yes, it does.
So what happened to the original hydronium, like within the solution?
Okay, so you're thinking too hard about it because all of this happens like, you know all about equilibrium, right? So the moment you throw the H2SO4 into water, some of it's going to be hydronium.
Yes.
Yes? But you can just, when you're doing a neutralization reaction, you can use the formula equation, which does not split it apart. It does not split this into H3O plus and HSO4 minus.
Oh.
So it just simplifies things for you. Is it what's really happening?
No.
No, right? There's really a lot more particles involved, but it makes it much more simple for you to say, how many hydroxides do I need to take off those two hydrogens? I need
Okay.
2 of them, right? And that will use up all of those
Yes.
because it's a neutralization.
And it has to form.
Yeah, exactly.
So there, in this example, there, the water, which is 2 moles, represents the acid. Or is- or is-
Well, no, this represents the acid. You got 2 H's,
Yes.
right? So you would just say, I think they have overcomplicated their work here by saying H3O plus instead of just saying H plus. Do you know what I mean? They've made it more
Complicated.
complicated.
Yeah.
Whereas it would be easier just to treat it like this and just pretend it doesn't dissociate and ionize into the hydronium ion.
Like H plus has this.
Yeah, H plus becomes part of the water.
So 2 moles of
2 moles of OH. Yeah.
or water.
Yeah.
2 moles of water
Uh-huh.
goes.
What?
Wait, so no, it's not 2 moles. But this is one. It's one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an ion.
But we don't care about that water.
We don't care. About
No, we care about the hydrogen and hydroxide.
Yes.
The amount of water that's formed is actually going to kind of be irrelevant because it's just going to become part of the solvent. You are thinking so far too hard about this.
Oh yeah.
What if I gave you a different instance here? What if instead of that we had HCl plus strontium hydroxide? Yes?
Yes.
And now instead of having diprotic acid, we just got 1 H.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And instead of having just 1 hydroxide, we have 2 hydroxides.
Yep.
Okay, but it's going to be the same. You're still going to get water. Now you don't have to worry about hydronium, right? It's be like 2 H's and 2 OH's gives 2 waters, and
Strontium chloride.
so
CO.
Cl2. Yeah. So there's 2 H's for every 2 OH's.
Yeah.
Which is the same for the other question.
But water doesn't fully ionize.
Water does not ionize to
It's
any
water.
extent whatsoever,
Yeah.
right? So it is just liquid and it's together.
Yes.
If we were worried about writing net ionic equations for this, We would have to be like, with this one, we would have to be like, okay, there's a this and a this, and this becomes complicated with the net ionic.
Oh, so
equation.
when it's like there's 0.2 molars of this,
Yeah.
I think of them as separate ions.
Yes.
And then we put, because there's 2 of this.
Yes.
0.4, 1 of this.
Yes.
0.2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Stop
what?
thinking so hard, man.
Then what does really happen to the original hydrogen?
The hydroxide rips the hydrogen off of the water
Yes.
and just leaves it as water.
Of the hydrogen.
Yeah.
So that's what-
Yeah. So you would have yes.
Yeah.
That's what's in your solution.
Yes.
So hydroxide's gonna come along and it's gonna say, give me a hydrogen.
Yep.
This guy's gonna, a hydroxide, again, is gonna come along, another hydroxide molecule, is gonna say, give me a hydrogen. So 2 hydroxides, 2 hydrogens. Where did those 2 hydrogens come from? They came from the H2
I'm gonna take it online.
SO4. It doesn't matter really that they're what they're attached to. You could even think of it as if you approximated it as saying, oh, okay, well, this thing dissociates and I get 2H plus and SO4 2 minus. That's a simplified version of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that they're actually attached to something. And it doesn't matter what they're attached to, you still have 2 H's.
Mhm.
It doesn't really do this, but we don't care what it really does that much. So I would just, you know what I would do at this point? I would let it go. Yes?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's that important as long as you understand that it's all just stoichiometric ratios. Yeah?
Yeah. And so there's only one base here, so it just works.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, my friends, today. We have, last class, block 2, I let people finish off their Pogel activity if they